Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I'm Bruce Dickey. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My guest is Josh Brown. He is the editor and publisher of the Olney Daily Mail. That's not your gig?
No, not yet.
What's your position?
Just the sports editor.
Sports editor, okay, of the Olney Daily Mail. Josh and I, we're going to talk all about the Little Illini Conference football today. Should be a good time. 1 week into the season, and we're going to give predictions for the rest of the year, and hope and fingers crossed by the end of the year we'll both be way off. You know that's what's going to happen, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, look at the last couple of years. One injury, and it took a team from being a playoff hopeful just a couple wins
to gone. Go and get out of it. But we'll get here in just a minute. We'll get to Josh to give us information and knowledge. You are watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. Over in Salem, that's on Channel 3. Here in Flora, that's on Channel 100 or Channel 25, depending on whether you have fiber. And up in Louisville on Channel 100, to Jeff, Sisney, Fairfield, all of you on Channel 100. We do appreciate you tuning in. Also, keep in mind, we're also on YouTube, for that matter, at the Big Talk with Bruce Dickey channel. If you miss a show or something on your TV, by all means, take a look at Big Talk on YouTube. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. What is going on in the area today on Wednesday, August 29th? Wednesday, August 29th. Well, over in Salem, on a continuing basis this week, they're doing it all week long. The Salem Community High School Marching Wildcats and music department are having their annual mum sale. Red, yellow, orange, purple, along with a white 9-inch potted mums are being sold for just $8 a piece. 9-inch pot is a pretty good sized pot. Are you a big mum guy? You plant mums?
I'm not a big plant guy in general.
You don't do flowers around your porch or outside your home?
I don't have a green thumb.
You don't have, well, it's probably for the best that you don't do it so you don't kill the plant.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes some sense. I like that. That's all right, Josh. But you can get it. That's $8 a throw. The pickup date is Wednesday, September 12th. It'll be at the high school. To purchase any of them, contact any Salem Community High School Marching Wildcat or Music Department member, or give them a call to the director, John Randolph. That's at 548-727, 548-0727. Also today, the Diabetes Education Group meeting, that'll be at the Clay County Hospital this afternoon at 4 o'clock, and that will be in the conference room. Again, the Diabetes Education Group meeting. Also today, this one is in Centralia at the SSM St. Mary's Hospital. They'll have the Bereavement Support Group meeting. That's at 3 o'clock, and that's in the Pastoral Care office over in Centralia. More fun stuff, more fun than that. Also today in Olney, the Flora Rehabilitation and Healthcare Center bingo is going to be at the Olney Senior Center. So they're on the road today, bringing all the ping pong balls and stuff on the road. So bingo in Olney today at 1 p.m. Bible study at the Flora Rehabilitation Center. See, now that's the thing, Josh. It's the same place. They're taking the bingo balls to Olney, and then they're coming back to have Bible study later in the day. Doesn't that make sense?
It's a full day.
It's a full
get your road
day,
trip
but
in.
it's also you're getting a little bit of maybe a little bit of churching up after you might be playing some bingo.
That's right.
Maybe it's not cash bingo. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just bingo, and it helps you get your better seat.
There you go. I like the thought. Also going on today, this is my favorite, at 2 o'clock today at Heritage Woods of Flora. It is a tribute to Johnny Cash by Bill Fornes, and that'll be at the Heritage Woods of Flora from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock today. If you've got nothing going on this afternoon and you get the chance to go see with a Johnny Cash tribute at the Heritage Woods, I think you take that. I think I'd go see Johnny Cash. What is on Wabash tonight? Well, actually, it's all day long. A ton of stuff, mainly baseball. Lots of baseball for you on today. Let me tell you who's up. The Cubs are playing at home. They're playing this afternoon. It's a 1:20 start. It is Jason Vargas on the mound for the Mets. He'll go against Alec Mills, changing things up for the Cub. Alec Mills on the mound, and that'll be on NBC Sports Channel. That is channel 643. Now, you are or are not a Cub fan.
I'm a Cardinal fan.
You're a Cardinal fan.
That's right.
So whatever I say about the Cubs, you'd be all for.
Depending on what you say about the Cubs.
Well,
I got to save face. I was
wondering if you were listening. I was wondering if you were, because I'm a Cardinal fan too. I just didn't know how close you were listening, Josh. I appreciate you paying attention. That's very kind. Okay, but Jason Vargas against Alec Mills. That's a 1:20 today, and that's on channel 643. Also, a big slew of games on the Major League Baseball Network, starting with that Cubs game, but I don't think you'll get it. It'll get blacked out. At about 2:40, though, the Seattle Mariners play the San Diego Padres. That you might be able to get. It's Erasmo Ramirez on the mound for Seattle. He's going to go against Joey Lucchesi, and that might start in progress probably about 4. But if you don't get it at 2:40, you'll get it at 4 o'clock. Also, Chicago White Sox are in New York. The White Sox and Yankees playing again. I tell you what, it seems like they're playing each other all the time. 6:05 tonight. This is on the NBC Sports Channel Chicago again. Doubleheader on channel 643 today. 6:05, Ronaldo Lopez taking the mound for the White Sox. He's going to go up against CC Sabathia for the Yankees, and that'll be followed later on this evening also on the Major League Baseball Network. Arizona is at San Francisco. Zach Godley on the mound for the Diamondbacks. This is at 9:15. He'll go against Derek Rodriguez. Rodriguez coming out at 6-1. He's doing very well. That's channel 599. And the big game again tonight, Pittsburgh is at St. Louis. They will be playing each other at 7:15 in St. Louis this evening. Trevor Williams taking the mound for the Pirates. He'll go against Miles Michaelis taking the mound for the Cardinals. And, of course, yesterday at 4 o'clock, since we're recording this early, I'm kind of going out on a limb. But yesterday at 4 o'clock, the Cardinals named Mike Schilt. Not Mike Schmidt. Mike Schilt,
yep.
Their permanent manager for next year. Did you hear that?
Yeah, 3-year contract. And
is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what I just read before we walked in the studio. So.
I knew it was coming, but I didn't know when they were going to do that.
I mean, you got to reward him. He's turned the team around. And it's nothing against Mike Matheny. I mean, he did a job as good as he could, but
as good as he could.
Yeah,
as good as he could. When you're coming out of when you're coming out of Little League and becoming a major league manager, it's a tough adjustment, and he did all right for a few years.
He tried the re-entry that they did in Little League, but the MLB couldn't let it happen.
They do that re-entry in Little League. There are some rule differences on it there. Who knew? They were just, everybody was making fun, and Mike was trying to play with Little League rules. That happens. You are watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here today. My guest is Josh Brown with the Olney Daily Mail, and we'll be back. We're going to talk about Little Illini Conference football, as well as probably a plethora of other different things. You stick around. We'll be back right after these words.
Come see us at Anthony's Wild West in downtown Flora.
Enjoy salad, pizza, and pasta buffet 11 to 2 Monday through Saturday. Not hungry for pizza? Our menu features a variety of food for every taste.
Our dining room is large and spacious for 2 or a crowd. Let us help you host a private party in one of our banquet rooms. Visit the Fallout Shelter to have a drink with good friends. Then try your luck at one of our 5 gaming machines. See you soon in the Wild West.
Welcome to Clay County Hospital. Clay County Hospital and Clinics offer the best in services and care in the area, with a staff that strives to provide the very best in patient-centered care. We offer full hospital services including radiology, therapy, surgery, labs, and emergency services. Our clinics located in Flora, Louisville, and Clay City allow us to reach out to Clay County residents so that you never have to go far from home for your healthcare needs. In addition to our regular provider staff, we also offer affiliated specialty provider services at our Flora clinic. Finally, have a minor injury or illness but don't want to wait for an appointment? Our walk-in, no-appointment clinic hours in Flora are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. until noon. Make Clay County Hospital your number one choice for healthcare, convenient and close to home.
Clay County Hospital, your number one choice in healthcare.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
Your call is very important to us. Please hold. Your call will be answered in the order it was received.
Tired of paying a big faceless company for your local telephone service in Flora? Now you can easily switch your 662 telephone number to Wabash Communications in Flora. That's right, Wabash can now provide local phone service to the Flora area, and yes, you can keep your 662 telephone number. It's available to both business and residential customers. Call us today at 662-3636. Wabash, your local telecommunications provider.
That's a bad thing. Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I'm Bruce Dickey, and my guest today is Josh Brown with the Olney Daily Mail. And before we do get going about football and all kinds of other things, other sports, let's tell folks about yourself, Josh. You are a long-term, even as a young man, you are a tremendously long-term member of the Richland County Media Mafia, aren't you?
Yeah, I graduated high school in 2010, and my first day was the late June, early July of that same year, and I've been doing...
With the radio station?
Yeah, with radio station, and I've been in media ever since.
How did you... Okay, now, when did you move to the newspaper?
I started August 14th, 2017, just a little over a year ago.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations on making it a year. That's wonderful. Which did you like better? I mean, you're going to say, he's going to say the newspaper, of course. But you had a lot of fun working at the radio, didn't you?
I mean, there's good and bad to every job. I mean, that's life, I guess. But, you know, it's fun. I kind of have a good boss to work with. Chip Archie, the editor's a former sports guy himself, so we kind of work together, and he lets me go cover sports. And, I mean, you really can't complain when your job is to go cover sports.
Well, you got a point. You've got a good point. And the other thing, you got to work with a lot of pretty fun people at SEI. Mark Weiler, you must have some stories about Mark.
A lot of stories that cannot be said on the air.
That's what I think. Yeah. Those are the ones I'm looking for. Come on, let's give.
No, I mean, I owe a lot to Mark. I mean, he took an 18-year-old kid and then took him in, and I did color commentary for basketball for him the first year out of high school, and that was my foot in the door, and I've been doing sports ever since.
Tell me a little bit about over the years, some of the because Coach Music, this is what, his 5th year. So you were covering.
This is his 8th year, I believe.
8th?
Yep. He started
35 and 36.
36 and 33. Just
36 and 33. I was doing the math and I did it wrong. So he's been there pretty much since you got out of high school.
Yeah. My first year of covering football, working with the Hall of Famer Steve Hof. That was his first year. It was 2011.
Oh, is that right? what are the differences working with Coach Music as opposed to Coach Flanagan, Rob Flanagan? What I would call a legendary Olney basketball coach. He might not agree to that. He wouldn't agree in person, but he would say, yeah, he's right.
Coach Music is they're their own animal, I guess you could say. He's Coach Flanagan, somebody who I worked with a long time. I was a member of his basketball team in high school, and is very good speaker, good storyteller, and
he's probably been there over 20 years now, hasn't he?
I believe this is 22nd, if my math is correct, and a lot of times it's not. But
you are a writer.
Yeah, exactly. But I owe a lot to Coach Flanagan. He helped a lot to get me started and get my foot in the door with Mark at the radio station. But he's somebody who's very passionate about his game, and to a sense, it makes him look intense, and I think it's great because that's just how much he cares, not only for the program but for the kids. Coach
Flanagan has over the years, and you're probably more of a partial observer than I am. I'm more impartial, but over the years, it seems like you see the amount of talent on the Olney. I'll call them East Richland High School, whatever. It's changed over the years. When I went to school, it was Olney. And then it became East, now it's Richland. But over the years, he has seemed to be able to get a lot of talent out of maybe not so much talent there. Would you agree?
I would, and it goes to the amount of time he puts in, and that's where I kind of compare the similarities between Coach Flanagan and Coach Music. They both put in a tremendous amount of time to their crafts, either football, basketball, and then we've got in Coach Matt McLaren, who's going to be starting his second year as a baseball coach. They're the three guys cut out of the same cloth. They're both intense, but they come across in their own unique ways.
Before we get to our first break, tell me a little bit, since you are closer to Olney. We're going to talk about the entire Little Illini Conference. Of course, that's we'll go down them later. But I would forget one. There's 9. If I started trying to name them, I'd forget one. But tell me a little bit about Coach Music. He had a pretty. I read your article. He seemed real pleased with his summer workouts this year.
Yeah, I talked to him before the season, obviously, to kind of get a preseason going. He said since he's started coaching at Olney, this may have been his best summer just in terms of participation and work ethic, top to bottom. I mean, he said there's been some guys throughout the years that may have been there and put in just as much time, but top to bottom, this could have been his best year. And I think it shows a little bit.
Really?
We lost a couple of really talented kids, 2 all-conference kids last year at inside linebacker and receiver, and it seems like all the kids that were behind them, the juniors that are now seniors, have picked up where they left off and are setting the bar high this year.
How are the numbers for Olney? I'm going to call them Olney. They don't mind being called Olney.
No, we're the only Tigers in sports, and then the school's Richland County High School.
Richland County graduate.
Yeah.
Okay. How the Olney numbers stacking up? Are they able to play JV and freshman all the way through?
We have a significant amount of freshmen, I think close to maybe 15 to 20-ish in there. I didn't count the numbers.
In this area, you get 20 kids out for football as a freshman. That's pretty good.
But varsity-wise, we had 28 kids on the active roster to start week 1, and I mean every one of them played a role. They got in and saw some snaps.
Well, that is Josh Brown. We're going to talk about the entire conference as well, in addition to Olney. I'll probably be able to tell you more about Red Hill and Flora since I saw them play, but I am really interested in hearing about Casey and Olney since they played, and I'm going to do it. Marshall, that's 5. Newton, 6. Lawrenceville, Red Hill, 7, 8. Paris! Did I get them?
I think so.
I feel good about that. I feel so good. So good about myself. Folks, you're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. My name is Bruce Dickey. Do stick around. We're going to talk more varsity football and all kinds of other things. Probably get to maybe a little bit of college game. It starts up this weekend. See what Josh's thoughts on it are, as well as maybe, since I won't have him here before next week, probably talk a little pro football. Josh, for some reason, is a Dallas Cowboys fan. I don't know why. You tell me. We'll both know. Well, I'll ask him, and that's how it'll work. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV, and we'll be back right after these words.
It's my choice. It's my choice. It's my choice.
So many of our county residents have treatment or surgeries done at larger hospitals. What they don't always realize is that they have a choice to select where they can have physical therapy or any number of post-operative treatments and follow-ups. Clay County Hospital is your choice. Talk with your specialist, surgeon, or primary care provider and let them know that you want to stay close to family, friends, and most importantly, home.
Clay County Hospital, your number one choice in healthcare.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone services required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
Come see us at Anthony's Wild West in downtown Flora.
Enjoy salad, pizza, and pasta buffet 11 to 2 Monday through Saturday. Not hungry for pizza? Our menu features a variety of food for every taste.
Our dining room is large and spacious for two or a crowd. Let us help you host a private party in one of our banquet rooms. Visit the Fallout Shelter to have a drink with good friends. Then try your luck at one of our 5 gaming machines. See you soon in the Wild West.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple, to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
Morning, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I'm Bruce Dickey. Thank you so much for tuning in today. You're watching on Wabash Catch TV here in Flora on Channel 100 or Channel 25. Also in Salem on Channel 3. We do appreciate you tuning in each and every day. And my guest is Josh Brown. He is the sports editor of the Olney Daily Mail, and he has been good enough to come over here, join us, talk about the Little Illini Conference. And you can't really talk about it without beginning talking about last year, can you, Josh? Red Hill rolled through the conference last year.
Yeah, Red Hill had, I think, I'm going to go out on record here and say for the second consecutive year, maybe have the best football player in the conference. They graduated Landon Florkowski last year, was a tremendous running back and maybe the best linebacker I've seen in a while in the LIC. And he passed that torch to Drew Moore, and I think he showed a little bit of that on Friday.
Drew Moore on Friday night at the Flora game was phenomenal, just phenomenal. What is Mr. Florkowski doing now?
I believe he's either a preferred walk-on or a walk-on at SIU Carbondale.
Oh, is that right?
Playing. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'll keep him busy.
Yeah.
Was it Coach Hill down there? Is Nick Hill the head coach, I think?
I can't remember. I know Nick. The video guy down there. Now I can't think of.
That's Nick. I'm almost the former quarterback at DuQuoin is the coach at SIU. Well, that's good for him. How you had your eye on every game last year, at least on all the Olney games anyway. How easy was it for Red Hill to go 9-0 in the Little Illini last season? Were there very many close games?
Red Hill was probably as I called them a few times, they were a buzzsaw last year. They were cutting through teams. Newton had a really good year last year, and they took them to a really close game, I believe, at Red Hill, if memory serves correctly. It was a real close game, and that
11
was
points.
Yeah, and I think it played closer than that. There was a fourth down play in the fourth quarter, I believe, that swung the game. But it was the year I think Red Hill's been prepping for the last 2 or 3 years. They were right there. They were knocking on the door, and they got the kids motivated. They got a really good senior class, and they led them to a tremendous season.
Yeah, and they've started out on the roll again this season. Tell me about Newton last year. Newton, they went to the playoffs, got a couple of games in, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a really good quarterback graduate. One of the Mimosa boys graduated, and it was filled with another name that Newton fans know well, and a Bierman. Connor Bierman filled in for quarterback, and they had Peyton Dowdy move in at running back that was, I think, the conference leader in rushing yards at the end of the year of the regular season, and they put together a really good year. They gave Red Hill, up until I think the Athens game, their closest competition to date, and unfortunately I think Bierman, Connor, tore his ACL late in the year, and it kind of hurt them a little bit just with that experience, but they were very well coached. They had a tremendous offensive line, and they were every bit as good as Red Hill.
As we look at the conference in 2018, 2019, how many are there? A lot of all-conference kids coming back. For instance, let me tell you, in the Black Diamond Conference, Brian Wees Turner was here last week, and he was talking about how it's the fewest number of returning all-conference people that he's ever seen, like in the last 15 years. How's it in the LIC this year?
It was real senior-heavy last year. I know at some positions now. I know Red Hill returns a couple of first-team all-LIC linemen. Obviously, Drew Moore, who was an at-large bid only because he did so much of everything. He really didn't have a position that he stood out at. But there's a few returning. Only as a first-team receiver returning, but it was real senior-heavy last year, and rightfully so. Last year's senior class had quite a bit of talent across the board.
When you look at we'll make predictions here in a little bit. I'm not going to let you off the hook. I appreciate you driving over and everything, and I'm going to give you a nice set of earbuds for coming over. Thank you very much. But I am going to make you do predictions later on. Who in the lower half of the conference from last season do you see as having a solid opportunity to maybe jump into the mix for, if not the conference title, for a playoff berth or something like that? What do you see?
As far as the teams that didn't make the playoffs last year, I'm going to sound a little bit like a homer. I think Olney has the best chance only because they return a lot of kids from last year's team. Flora graduated a really good class. I think that's going to be, by the end of the year they'll start rolling, but it's going to be a little tough sledding to start with. And the other two teams at the bottom, actually another team right there probably with Olney is Casey, who was 2-7 last year, and it was a chance that a player or two here or there could have switched their season, but they have a tremendous offensive line. I think 4 seniors on their offensive line, and Luke Richards, who's a good basketball player, 6'5", I think listed 270. He's a difference maker on the field that he could really do some damage.
What's he doing?
He's offensive lineman and defensive lineman, and I think he's one of the few returning all-conference juniors from last year. He's a senior. They have a move in from Marshall at quarterback who's got a decent arm, and I think once they get all the pieces all on the same page, they'll be a really good team.
It's kind of intriguing. I mean, the LIC is not a closed conference, but so much of the playoff opportunities for a conference like the LIC depend on their scheduling in that off week, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of situations where you might look at it and like, well, why are these teams playing each other? Some of it's
like last week. Marshall played Argento Oriana.
Robinson
did. Sorry,
and a lot of it's just due to which week you have as your off week and what teams around can happen. I know only the last couple of years. Last year we went to Bethalto and played Civic Memorial week 3. The year before that it was Monticello. It was that week 3.
Oh, Aldi must like picking the chumps, man. Those two teams are like perennial state the qualifiers.
Yeah, and it just
why was Olney picking the state qualifiers?
It was week 3, and it's when a lot of conferences really start getting
all
rolling.
in conference.
So, and they had a couple of off weeks, and I know Coach Music, he'll tell anybody that asks, he wants to play the best. I mean, you only get better playing the best.
Who's Olney playing this year?
It's going to be a game I think everybody's been looking forward to since about 2002. The Golden Aces will return on the schedule.
Mount Carmel Aces. Is that going to be in Olney, or is that going to be in?
It's going to be in Olney this year. It's 4 years. We'll switch off home and home, but
wow,
we'll host them this year.
When is that?
That's week 4.
Okay, so week 4, Mount Carmel at Olney, and now. The fans, the Olney fans are looking forward to that. You got to figure that the Olney, the press, you're probably looking forward to it. You were a child the last time these two teams played. Do the players have any idea of the history of these two teams? Because in the 1980s, I could tell you some of the history from for the 80s and 90s. They were battles.
I think they have a little taste because they play each other junior pro football all the way through 8th grade.
Oh, they're in that the JFL, aren't they?
So they have a little bit of a taste, but the high school rivalry, I think it's going to reopen some old wounds for some fans, and maybe some old great memories from fans. I know I've talked to people that say that there's I don't know how many people from that played in the 80s and 90s that are looking forward to it, and not just from Olney or not just from Olney or Mount Carmel. I've heard people from other towns are looking forward to it, and why don't you like Mount Carmel? I mean, it's close.
That's exactly right. It's 35 miles. I'm wearing, for crying out loud, I'm wearing a Golden Aces colored jacket here. And that's not very nice while they're playing against Olney in a few weeks. And you make a point. You travel to the Capital Classic every year. I've been going to the Capital Classic every year. Part of the fun of the Lawrence County Capital Classic, the basketball tournament, preseason basketball tournament, is that there are 6 teams from the old NEC in it. It's just basically an NEC tournament plus T-Town.
Yeah, and T-Town always throws the monkey wrench in there.
T-Town always wins. Don't always win, but they always really compete well. Mount Carmel, it's usually Mount Carmel or T-Town, isn't it? Has been lately. I've got Josh Brown here. We're talking all kinds of different things. We're talking old NEC. We're talking football. We're going to get to kind of a team-by-team, short little breakdowns for each team when we return. You are watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV, and we'll be back right after these words. Please stick around.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple: to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
Welcome to Clay County Hospital. Clay County Hospital and Clinics offer the best in services and care in the area with a staff that strives to provide the very best in patient-centered care. We offer full hospital services including radiology, therapy, surgery, labs, and emergency services. Our clinics located in Flora, Louisville, and Clay City allow us to reach out to Clay County residents so that you never have to go far from home for your healthcare needs. In addition to our regular provider staff, we also offer affiliated specialty provider services at our Flora clinic. Finally, have a minor injury or illness but don't want to wait for an appointment? Our walk-in, no appointment clinic hours in Flora are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. until noon. Make Clay County Hospital your number one choice for healthcare, convenient and close to home.
Clay County Hospital, your number one choice in healthcare.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
Come see us at Anthony's Wild West in downtown Flora.
Enjoy salad, pizza, and pasta buffet 11 to 2 Monday through Saturday. Not hungry for pizza? Our menu features a variety of food for every taste.
Our dining room is large and spacious for two or a crowd. Let us help you host a private party in one of our banquet rooms. Visit the Fallout Shelter to have a drink with good friends. Then try your luck at one of our 5 gaming machines. See you soon in the Wild West.
Your call is very important to us. Please hold. Your call will be answered in the order it was received.
Tired of paying a big faceless company for your local telephone service in Flora? Now you can easily switch your 662 telephone number to Wabash Communications in Flora. That's right, Wabash can now provide local phone service to the Flora area, and yes, you can keep your 662 telephone number. It's available to both business and residential customers. Call us today at 662-3636. Wabash, your local telecommunications provider.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Welcome back, folks, to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I'm Bruce Dickey. My guest today is Mr. Josh Brown. He is with the Olney Daily Mail. He's the sports editor down there. And we've been talking Little Illini Conference football today. I was going to ask him about Little Illini or volleyball or anything like that, but because I had Coach Holloway from Flora on the show, and if you don't know anything about volleyball, I'm glad you told me, because I don't either. No, that's not true. We're both tremendous experts in the field, but we know more about football. Okay, last year, let's start from the rankings from the end of the year last year. LIC. Tell me about Lawrenceville. We do have Flora. We'll play Lawrenceville at home here in, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, and that game will be on Wabash Catch TV. So tell me about the Indians.
Lawrenceville was a team just 2 or 3 years ago, was one of the top teams of the conference, had a lot of talent, tremendous running back. I think Shoulders was the running back's last name. And then just had, it's that flow of high school sports. They haven't had the enrollment, or not the enrollment, they haven't had the numbers recently. They had a coaching change this year. Coach Green's taken over kind of late in the summer, took over, and they're
what
trying
happened to their previous coach?
I think he left for another job that happened to open up. But Coach Green took over, and he's trying to get them back on the right track. And they're trying to build back up from to where they were just a few years ago, and if they can get the numbers to start coming out, I think it'll turn things around.
Well, you're right. They had the same good. Well, it's a cycle. I mean, you always hear high school sports in Southern Illinois is cyclical, and they had the good basketball team at the same time with a good football team. It was a bunch of athletes.
And I talked to some of our media friends over in Lawrence County, and they kind of saw the writing on the wall. They said, it's that cycle. They go, Lawrenceville's really, really good athletes. They're going to get ready to graduate. I think Red Hill's going to start to get those really good athletes, and it's showing on the field right now and on the court too. They're pretty good at basketball, and he said, I think Lawrenceville, if they can get the right breaks and get enough numbers, he said, I think those athletes could be coming for the Indians here in the next couple of years.
We've talked about them a little bit. Casey Westfield last year finished 2-8, or probably 2-7, and it's a long road to hoe for up at Casey, isn't it? They've got such a nice facilities and such a tradition. You would think they'd have to kind of step up and be able to get back into the mix pretty quickly.
They had Coach Sinclair, who was the namesake of the field. One of the two namesakes of the field was there for a long time, and then he left, and they had some success with Coach Sullivan the next couple of years, and then they had bad breaks and some bad injuries. I think they had a quarterback go down week 1 or 2, and they're trying trying to get their numbers back, and Coach Bonner's taken over for his second year, and he got a really good win at Olney last year to end the season, and a win I think a lot of people pointed could be the turning point back in that program to kind of get them back on track to where they're wanting to be, and they have the talent this year, and as I think a lot of Olney fans can attest, I think we're glad we got them week 1 when they tried to mix some of the new faces in.
Yeah, that makes some sense because a lot of teams that are inexperienced, they gel toward the end of the year, and you catch them then, and they can stub your toe.
Yeah, brand new quarterback to Casey. He's a senior, but he moved to Casey this year, has a tremendously big arm, and had a couple of sophomores come out for the first time, and I think they're banking on their offensive and defensive lines just being big enough to get them to that point to where everybody can
What
gel.
are folks expecting out of the Robinson Maroons this year? Have you heard much?
Another new coach, Coach Tim Nolan, a long-time coach in the area. Tim Nolan, he retired this past year, and they had a lot of young talent. They played a lot of sophomores and freshmen last year, so I think they're still just trying to work their way back up, and they're going to take some lumps this year, just being a little younger and maybe a little more inexperienced, plus a first-year head coach. But I think
that's
they're on
kind
their
of
way
a cycle.
up.
You're talking the way you're talking that they're going through the class cycle, kind of like Lawrenceville has been, which is why we're talking on. They were in the bottom half of the conference last season.
And actually, when you look at that, it's kind of the same way. Robinson and Lawrenceville were really, really good at the same time. And they had Rich Hart was their running back that was a big running back for the conference. And then those kids graduate, and they're trying to get that next group.
Tell me about Olney. You think Olney's are they ready to turn a corner, huh?
I think they have the right pieces as long as they can all gel. They returned a quarterback. They returned a tremendous receiving core and a sophomore running back who went absolutely crazy.
200 yards.
Yeah, 206 yards. Just went absolutely crazy.
How in the world? They only, 20 carries or something?
25 carries.
25 carries.
And that goes to our offensive line. We have a lot of returners, a 3-year starter at center, a 3-year starter at tackle, a couple-year starter at guards. It's a good unit that I think.
Who's your quarterback?
Dakota Brown's our quarterback. He returned. He split reps last year with Caleb Foster. Both were all conference. Not at quarterback, but they were different positions.
Did he have time to throw?
He had a really good performance by the offensive line, and that's what I think. I know Coach Music mentioned it, and I talked to Gavin Dorn, our running back, after the game, and that was the first thing he said. The offensive line was outstanding on Friday night.
Flora last year finished 5th in the conference. I've seen him play, but what are your impressions on Flora coming in to the LIC this year, unless you want to ask me?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll get your opinion here in a second.
You go ahead. You're my guest. You go. You talk. That's what I'm saying.
The one thing I do know, they returned a running back that was really good in Andrew Pierce last year, who was one of the top, I think, 5 or 6 in rushing yards last year, but they graduated quarterbacks and Dawson Goldstein, who started for a couple of years. They graduated tops and receivers, and Dylan Bible and Owen Lieb was at the top. Right. And receiving, and Drew Hout. I was trying to remember who was a lineman that was all conference. They graduated
3-time all conference.
Yeah, I believe so.
Like that.
I mean, they graduated a lot at certain positions, and I'll give them a shout out. He might get mad at me if I don't. An Olney grad, Luke Carmody's the offensive coordinator, so we kind of cheer for them anytime they're not playing the Tigers.
That's cool. That's nice of it. Andrew Pierce played really well on Friday night against Red Hill,
and that's a tough task with Red Hills. I mean, they were really good defensively last year, especially last year.
The thing is with Flora, at least in that first game. Now they're playing the conference champs. They're playing the best team in the conference, and it's difficult to get any consistency when you're playing a team that is better than you like that. And the first quarter, Flora found themselves behind the 8 ball, and a team I think that is resigned to losing could have just rolled over. But no, it was really heartening to see Flora fight back, and they made it a game, made it a good. They were within a couple of touchdowns most of the evening until Red Hill scored a couple late and they also gave up a couple of return touchdowns, and that's a special teams thing. And you can fix special teams problems. Flora's one of their main issues, however, they had. And this is something that if you don't fix it, it's going to kill you all year long. They had trouble with the snap, and it's a shotgun. You got to get a snap going.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that I know Coach Music's happy that we have a 3-year starter at center that's got that experience, and that's one of, if not the most kind of crucial thing. Actually, they say it is the crucial thing in football. It's the snap.
You can't do anything else.
Yeah.
What do you think of Paris?
Paris was kind of one of the things that I was taking some notes here. It was I said it was a shocker that they beat Newton. Not that they couldn't beat Newton, but I thought
how they did it.
Yeah, how they did it. They graduated an first team all conference quarterback. They graduated a second team all conference running back, a first team all conference receiver, all graduated, and they were still dynamic offensively. I was told they moved a real big kid, like 6'3", 200 plus to quarterback, and has a good arm. Yeah, good arm, and they exploded against Newton. And I saw it last year. Coach Clodfelter, if I remember right, this is his third year. He went from a team hovering around 1 or 2 wins his first year. They were a playoff team last year, and he's getting them turned around, and they're doing really, really good things. The other Tigers of the conference are.
I'm trying to remember the name of the quarterback, the big boy quarterback from Kentucky years ago.
Lorenzen.
Jared Lorenzen. I remember Jared. It couldn't come with Lorenzen. Jared Lorenzen. Marshall, third place last year. What's the thought of the Marshall Lions?
Marshall lost another head coach. There was our third team that lost a coach, and Coach Evers, who left, took, I think, a vice principal or principalship at his new position, and wish him the best of luck. He was one of the coaches I always enjoyed talking to over the years. But they've got tradition. They're the Marshall Lions. They're not traditionally down for long, and they didn't look to be. Talent too. Yeah, they didn't look to be down in week 1. I know they're playing Lawrenceville, who's kind of in that rebuilding cycle. But when you have 2 guys rush for 130 plus yards, and one of those is your quarterback, that's off to a good start.
You mentioned Newton losing last Friday night to Paris. Mm-hmm. Is that just a small toe stub, or is that going to bode poorly for later on?
Yeah, that's one of those things that a team that's not used to taking losses, especially in the regular season. I mean, you don't know how it'll be.
It's been years since Newton struggled.
I think Newton hasn't lost more than 1 conference game since around 2014, if my memory is correct. I know Newton fans will definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, they will.
But Coach Fulton usually has a really good offensive line. I think that's one thing that they graduated 3 or 4 off their offensive line, if not even more than that. And they're just trying to get those guys back. I think they'll have talent.
What's the view from the Olney Daily Mail on the Red Hills Salukis, last year's champs?
I say it in every sport, they're the champs until they get beat, and it's a reason for that. Coach Billy Gray has done a great job. He's slowly started to see that shift, and they've got the right athletes, they've got the right mentality in, and it starts with Drew Moore. He is one of the best athletes I've seen in a long time.
I'm not a big fan of the all-purpose yards statistics, but he had 450 all-purpose yards the other night. You may or may not be a fan of statistics, but if somebody gets 450 yards, it doesn't matter if you're a fan or not. He rolled over somebody. So he had 250 yards rushing and over 450 all-purpose, which that is just. The kid runs hard, and it's tough to bring down. Talking here, our guest today is Josh Brown. When we come back, we're going to we might give top predictions. We'll give top 2 or 3. First, how about first and second? Or are you ready to give first, second, third?
We'll give a range here.
Oh, here we go. He's not good. He won't be tied down. He won't be tied down. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV, and Josh and I'll be back right after these words.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
Welcome to Clay County Hospital. Clay County Hospital and Clinics offer the best in services and care in the area with a staff that strives to provide the very best in patient-centered care. We offer full hospital services including radiology, therapy, surgery, labs, and emergency services. Our clinics located in Flora, Louisville, and Clay City allow us to reach out to Clay County residents so that you never have to go far from home for your healthcare needs. In addition to our regular provider staff, we also offer affiliated specialty provider services at our Flora clinic. Finally, have a minor injury or illness but don't want to wait for an appointment? Our walk-in, no-appointment clinic hours in Flora are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. until noon. Make Clay County Hospital your number one choice for healthcare, convenient and close to home.
Clay County Hospital, your number one choice in healthcare.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple, to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
Come see us at Anthony's Wild West in downtown Flora.
Enjoy salad, pizza, and pasta buffet 11 to 2 Monday through Saturday. Not hungry for pizza? Our menu features a variety of food for every taste.
Our dining room is large and spacious for two or a crowd. Let us help you host a private party in one of our banquet rooms. Visit the Fallout Shelter to have a drink with good friends. Then try your luck at one of our 5 gaming machines. See you soon in the Wild West.
Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I'm Bruce Dickey. Thank you so much for tuning in. My guest today, Josh Brown from the Olney Daily Mail. And Olney with a nice win in week 1. Who's Olney got this week?
Olney plays Lawrenceville, and it's going to be
a chance to start out with a solid 2-0.
Last year Olney picked up their first win against Lawrenceville, 45-14. They'll travel to Lawrenceville and get to play on the turf this week.
They're the only school in the conference with turf, right?
As far as I know, yes. I do not believe. Paris got a new field, but I don't think they got turf.
Okay. Paris got a new field, you say?
2 or 3 years ago, I believe.
Is that right? Okay.
Real nice field, too.
Is that right? Nice.
Yeah, real nice facilities.
All right, let's break it down then. What's going to be you've got to give me who's going to win the conference, who's winning the LA. All right, you give me. He says he's going to give me a range, but I'll give you third, second, and first. I'll walk out on that limb. I'm willing to. I'm okay. Of course, I'm older than you. So the limb. If the limb falls, I'll just move on to the next limb. You're still clinging to the limb.
My predictions for the conference, the top 2 teams.
You knew I was going to ask.
Of course. But I'd say the top 2 teams, Red Hill, they have a lot of talent coming back. They have some good help on the lines coming back, which is going to be big, especially when you have a running back as dynamic as what Moore has been. And Volkman, Gavin Volkman's a top 10 rusher the first week.
Did a nice job.
They'll be up there with Paris. I think Paris is going to be a team that the big win at Newton could be the one they needed to help put the stamp on the season of we're going to be a conference threat this year, and especially the way they replace some of their talented kids at receiver, running back, and quarterback already in week 1.
Yeah,
it's going to be huge. Then that kind of that next tier, then the ones that may need a break or two to break in. Newton. I mean, they're still Newton for a reason. They have some really good talent. They returned a couple of really good running backs. They have a couple of people on the defensive side that are game changers. Bryce Hance, tremendous defensive end. And remember the first play last year.
You're not going to give me a prediction, are you?
I'm going to work my way to it.
Okay, you keep working.
But I just remember the play last year against Olney. His first play, he threw a big hand up and knocked a pass down. But
I saw a picture of that this week. I think,
but I would say Newton's probably slotted in there in that 3 spot with Marshall. They could go either way depending on how they play, and then that next wave, it's Olney and Casey. Flora could find their way in there, trying to weasel their way into that 5th spot and maybe a playoff team.
Well, see, that's the thing. Olney and Flora both finished 3 and 6 last year. Any chance either of those two can maybe jump up a couple of games, get in the playoffs?
No, one game that Olney lost last year, they already picked up a win over. They lost to Casey last year, so there's one. And I mean, there was 2 straight games last year when they went to Civic Memorial, 2 4th and 1s that Olney couldn't pick up, that could have completely turned that game on its head. When the game was scoreless, they had a 4th and 1 at Marshall. When the game was scoreless, that could have turned it on its head.
And Mount Carmel last year was not the Mount Carmel of previous years.
Mount Carmel, speaking of them, they could be a game that could be good. They could be a pretty pass-heavy game.
A win there.
Yeah, I mean, they have Caleb Appleby, a sophomore who's 6'5", 6'6".
He's very good.
He's got a good arm and has some good weapons. But, I mean, a game here or there only could find their way in there. Flora, they're going to have to find a game here or there. The only game last year was outstanding. One of my favorite games to see last year was back and forth.
Josh, you're burning clock on purpose so that you don't give me numbers. All right, I'll ask direct questions. Will Olney make the playoffs?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Olney will make the playoffs.
I've got him on that list. I feel good about that. Who's going to win the conference then?
If I had to put money on it, my prediction would be Red Hill.
Okay. I'm going to go Red Hill. I'll go top 3. I'll go. You've talked me into Paris. I was going to go Newton. But
Newton's going to need some help. Yeah, Newton needs some help.
Paris beat Newton, so you've talked me into that. So I'll go like you. I'll go Red Hill, Paris, and Newton. And to answer your question, I think Olney's going to make playoffs too. And I think Flora's. I hope they make that step up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they're really young. They're really young throughout the roster. And if they don't make that step up, I think things are really looking good for the future for Flora. But they may not make that leap this year. That's who knows? We're just making silly predictions here in the studio, and they're playing on the field on Friday night. That's exactly right. So, just a minute left. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Since I have you.
I mean, it's hard to bet against the Patriots, but I'm gonna pull a little out of the pocket here. I'm gonna go Homer pick.
Here he goes.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
He's going with the Cowboys. I knew it. No Cowboy fan I've ever met has ever predicted, we're not going to make playoffs this year. I've never heard that. That's something you've never heard in your life. Okay, I got to ask, how come? Because I didn't think Des Bryant was done. Now, I guess the Cowboys had to let him go, or they had to pay him too much money. But why didn't they bring him back for no money?
Addition by subtraction. I think
so. He's that big of a locker room cancer now.
I don't know if that's the necessary word.
Strong.
Yeah, I think just with a young quarterback, they don't want somebody constantly in his ear. They want him to grow organically on his own. And if you can get Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott to grow together with that offensive line, they could be outstanding.
So the Cowboys must be winning the division then too.
Wild card team.
With the world champions. Oh, really? They're going to come from the wild card.
They're going to finally get that wild card momentum.
Wow. They had it that one year when Tony Romo was trying to. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up.
I've accepted it.
That was 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
You got a lot of good, fun years out of Tony Romo. Are you missing him? I mean, you got Dak Prescott now, so you don't miss him.
I miss Romo's big arm that he liked to showcase, but I do not miss late crushing interceptions.
Romo did have the late crushing interceptions. That's the thing. We're out of time. You don't see that with Dak because he doesn't throw the ball.
Yeah, well, he doesn't throw the ball and as many chances to gamble.
There you go. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Brown, you're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day and enjoy the year.